Hello and welcome to Soul Crowd Wellbeing's first guided meditation session. I wrote this meditation about a year ago now, and I called it awareness of people just like you. Now, I think it is something that's still very, very relevant with the conflicts in Ukraine and Gaza, and also with the attacks in US politics and the trouble in Leeds last night, which has been on the news this morning. So yeah, I think it's quite a relevant one to sit and think about. So let's begin. So let's begin by taking a moment to allow your body to settle into a comfortable position. Now, it doesn't matter whether you're lying down or whether you're sat. You can close your eyes to keep them slightly open, and just let your shoulders soften in the spine, spine to lift slightly. Today we will practice acknowledging the similarities between ourselves and others. Often we focus on differences, and it's an easy trap to fall into, but realising that even a person who seems very different from us in a fundamental way can become the basis of a real connection. This can include people we don't know very well, people with whom we're in conflict, or even people that we see as an enemy. It's possible to develop a sense of compassion and understanding by coming to feel our shared sense of experience as human beings. This practice, which I've called Just Like Me, can help overcome that sense of difference and distrust by opening channels of compassion. Allow yourself to take a deep breath in and a long breath out. And as you breathe out, allow a sense of releasing any tension you are holding in the body. Briefly scan through your body, noticing sensations or emotions, inviting a sense of spaciousness and acceptance for whatever you are experiencing right now. Take a few moments to reflect on the emotions and sensations you feel, but don't engage the sensations or emotions. If thoughts or feelings arise, just acknowledge them. Don't need to follow them, just acknowledge the feelings are coming, and just picture them as a cloud, and just let them float off into the distance. So you don't need to chase the feelings or the emotions which come up, just acknowledge that they're there. Acknowledge what feelings they are. Don't need to engage them or feel those feelings, just know what's coming up. And as they come up, just imagine them as a cloud, just let them float past. Or even imagine tying a red balloon to the emotions and just let them float off into the distance. You don't need to follow them, you don't need to engage in them. Just got to acknowledge that they are feelings, they are thoughts. Acknowledge what's coming up. Don't chase after them. Just let them pass. We'll do this for a few minutes. Just acknowledge those feelings and let them float past. Just take some time to recognise what those feelings are, and to acknowledge what's coming up and where you're feeling those feelings in your body, where you're feeling that tension. And if you do start to follow those feelings or follow those emotions and start building a story, then remember just to bring yourself back to your breathing and just feel the slow, deep breaths with the air entering your nostrils and flowing out your mouth, and just concentrate on those feelings and concentrate on your breath. And just pick up on any emotions that you feel as they come up. Just let them float past. Don't need to engage in them. Let's just have a couple of minutes just to focus on that. keep letting those feelings float past. Don't need to put any weights to them, just acknowledge what they are, what those feelings are, or label them. Just imagine them floating past. Don't create any stories in your mind, don't follow them. And if you can, just acknowledge where in your body you think those feelings are coming from. And again, if you do find yourself following those feelings or making a story in your mind or reliving experiences, just go back to following your breath. Keeping it nice and slow. And when you're ready, just engage back in those feelings again. Acknowledge what they are. Don't try and block anything out. Don't try and block any thoughts or feelings coming, or think that you have to have your mind clear. That's not what we're doing. We're just labelling those thoughts and letting them go past. Now, bring someone to mind that you don't know very well, or who might seem different or distant from you, or even someone that you're in a minor conflict with. And as you bring that person to mind, notice if you experience any shifts and sensations in your body. Just take a few seconds just to picture that person and just to acknowledge what comes up. Now, holding this person in mind as if they're in front of you, say to yourself, this person has a body and a mind just like me. This person has feelings, emotions and thoughts just like me. This person at some point in his or her life has been sad, disappointed, angry, hurt, or confused just like me. This person has in his or her life experienced physical and emotional pain and suffering just like me. This person has experienced moments of peace, joy and happiness just like me. This person wishes to have fulfilling relationships just like me. This person wishes to be healthy and loved just like me. Now just take a couple of moments just to sense how you're feeling. As you hold this person in your awareness, what you experience. And now as you hold this person in mind, send them good wishes. May they be well, may they be happy. And as we move to close, returning to awareness of the breath. Feeling present, alive and connected right here. I invite you just to take a few more minutes just to acknowledge those words we've just thought about there. It might seem very strange wishing someone maybe you've had conflicts with, wishing them good luck and wishing them happiness. It might seem very strange to you, and it might bring up some emotions and it might bring up some things, so take a few minutes just to acknowledge those feelings when they come up. And we'll just do the same as we did before, just acknowledge the feelings and maybe where they're coming from. But just to let them float past, not to get tied up in those feelings, not to follow them down a rabbit hole, just to acknowledge that they're there and just let them float past. And we'll just do that for a few minutes. Just returning to your breath if you do end up following emotions and following a story in your head, just go return back to the breathing. Feeling that breath. letting those thoughts just float past. Tie a red balloon to them and let them float away into the distance so you can't read them anymore. And just try and have a sense of where in your body that you think those feelings have come from. And just return to the breath if you need to. And I want you to think of someone who you'll meet today, or think of the next person you expect to see. Just take a moment to silently consider how that person is just like you. For example, you may say to yourself, this person wants to be loved just like me, or this person wants to do a good job just like me. And just have that compassion for those people. You might not have always seen eye to eye. It might be someone you don't even know, or someone that you've been annoyed with in the past, who maybe hasn't got the same thoughts as you. At the end of the day, we are all human, and whether we see eye to eye or not, we've got to show that compassion to people, that we are all human beings. We all occupy the same space. If you need to take a few more moments with the reflection time in this guided meditation, then feel free to pause it as you listen back to it, and just take that bit longer if you feel you need before starting the guided meditation again. I'd love to get some comments and questions. I'd love to see those questions coming through, or anything that you need sort of clearing up. And I do invite you to think of a reflection question as well after you've done this meditation, and that, in what way does this affect your perception or experience with that person? Have things changed with that person that you were thinking about? It doesn't have to be the same person every time you go back to this guided meditation. You can be different people. It doesn't have to be the same person, but it's always good to reflect afterwards how this affects your perception of the person. I would love to know your thoughts and feelings on that. Whether it has changed the way you think about people, or whether you're finding that difficult. And there's other meditations around this topic that I've written, and things that we can look at. But I'd love to know some feedback, and I'd love to know how you're getting on with these guided meditations. I'm going to release more as we go on, and it's something I would like to keep in place there that people can go back and revisit and readdress. I'm going to do little tips and hints about thoughts and feelings coming up in meditations, and floating, letting the thought float away as a cloud or as a balloon. That is something I can cover if anybody needs any help with what meditation is or what meditation's about. More than welcome to answer any questions. I've been doing this quite a few years now. But yeah, enjoy. I hope this helps, and I hope you can find peace with your thoughts and get deeper into the meditation as time goes by. Thank you for your time.